this other family that was a little less structured. The youngest child was very rebellious, right? And rightfully so. Like, I understand that concept, okay? Your parents had gotten divorced. This is your new mom. You live with them now. Fuck. Like, yeah, shit's not great. But she also got to do everything she wanted because she was daddy's little girl. You know what I mean? So they had, I was babysitting over lunch. And I'm making these kids lunch, right? We're making some buttered noodles as per usual. And the mother had bought some fudgicles that the kids were very excited about, or fudgesicles, I guess. And I was like, and this kid's chomping at the bit for one. This small child, she's like 5, 6 years old, is losing her mind. She's like, I need one of these. I'm like, listen, we're all going to eat lunch. Afterwards, we're all going to enjoy one. Don't you worry, it's coming. But you have to wait for lunch. Like, you got to eat first, right? I can't just pump you up with sugar because you're a nightmare baseline. Like,
yeah.
Baseline, you're a nightmare. I pump, like, whatever, 50 cc's of fucking sugar and we're done. Okay, we're done here. I quit, basically, is what's going to happen here, right? So I'm cooking, and this girl comes back and she produces a popsicle stick. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I ate one. She wants me to know that she has, not only has she eaten one, but she wants me to know that she's eaten one. She wants me to know that I'm not in charge here. Okay.
Yeah, that's a power move.
It's big power move. This girl's got big balls, man. Big balls. I've never met a child with bigger balls than this child. Like, honestly, I respected it a bit, for sure. Okay.
Yeah.
But I can't have chaos. You know what I mean? Like, I'm supposed to be the authority here.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm like, listen, that's fine. I tell her that's fine. I'm like, listen, that's fine. When we all enjoy one afterwards, you're not going to have one. And that's going to be unfortunate for you. Like, you're going to feel bad. And she's like, oh, nah, whatever. Leaves, okay? I should have gotten wise. Does she come back with the secondary one? Yes, she does. She comes back with a second popsicle stick. She goes, I ate another one. Okay, we're not having this. Now she's getting real bold, okay? Because, like, I haven't fought her on the first two, okay? She's getting real bold. She looks at me and she goes, and I'm going to eat another one. And she goes around the corner to the freezer, right? But you've just announced what you're going to do. I'm following you now. So I follow her, and she pulls one out, and she takes the wrapper off and, like, puts it kind of in my face. And it's like, see, I'm going to do it again. Like, I'm in charge, right? And at this moment, I have had simply enough. So what I do is I grab it from her, and I hold her shoulder, and I eat it in front of her. And I tell her how good every lick of that popsicle is. I'm like, oh, yeah, dude. That is the best. And I can't.
Dark.
It's real dark, dude. It's real dark. Now, obviously, like, I'm not holding her I'm just holding her a bit, right?
Yeah.
So after I get about like a quarter into this popsicle, this girl takes, and I let her go because I'm like, message received. I'm not gonna make you watch me eat this whole freaking popsicle because then that becomes sincerely evil, right? But this girl lost her mind. I get through a quarter of this thing. She is bawling her eyes out. You're the worst. I can't believe you did. I'm laughing.
She's already had two.
In a child's face. Maniacally. I'm losing my mind. Like, this is the best thing ever. This girl cries, runs upstairs, and I don't see her for the rest of the day. And it was the best babysitting day I felt such joy in that moment. Evilly. I know that's evil.
Yeah.
Correct. But, like, the joy, the pure joy I felt in that moment cannot be replicated, I think.
That's great.
It was the best. Anyway, never hire me as a babysitter.
No.
Hero, villain. There's a mishmash of everybody in this. There's a collection of heroes and villains in this story. Okay, when I first moved to Toronto, I used to live around the corner from a Popeyes, right?
Right.
And it's like, Popeyes, in my opinion, is one of these fast food restaurants that is vastly different from location to location.
Sure.
Okay, so like some Popeyes are pure garbage. Okay.
Yep.
Other ones, this one was slamming. Okay, delicious. Okay, always good. Okay, so when I first moved to Toronto, quite a sad girl. Okay, quite depressed. Didn't have a lot of friends. Didn't know what I was doing. Comedy wasn't going that great. I would eat there quite a bit. Okay, so much so that I put on a couple of pounds. But whatever. Anyway, one night I go out drinking. Okay, and I go out drinking. Okay, I go to, where do I, Dance Cave. If you're familiar in Toronto, it is a dive. So I wake up the next, I just want to give you a description of how drunk I was. Okay.
Right.
So fired up, right? So the next morning, I am not feeling good, okay? But Popeyes to the rescue. You know what I mean? Popeyes, baby, my place, right? So I show up and I'm not feeling great, okay? I'm not feeling 100%. But I'm like, you know what? This is fine. I don't know. I just felt like kind of like I was going to throw up.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm somebody, I always have a moment when I know I'm going to. Okay. Like I am aware of when I'm going to puke, right? So I've paid for my food. I'm waiting for it on the side. And I can feel this overwhelming sense of something very bad is about to happen. But in my mind, I'm like, oh, I'm going to puke. And that's the last thought I have because I pass out and I hit the floor. Okay, I guess. I obviously have no recollection of this, right? And apparently, I wake up, pass out again. I don't remember that part at all because when I come to, I think this is like, oh my God, right? I come to and I am surrounded by a flock of teenagers, right? Which is so embarrassing. And they're like, oh my God. And they're calling me ma'am and miss. And I'm like, oh, this is all terrible.
You don't understand the mistakes I made last night.
Like, I don't like any of this.
A man wouldn't have made this mistake.
A man wouldn't have made this mistake.
This is a mistake.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So this guy's like, he puts me on a chair. I'm in like the middle of this lineup now. They haven't moved me anywhere good. Okay, I'm in the middle of this lineup. And this kid, it looks like I'm looking at the cast of Degrassi, man. Like these are kids. Okay, and this one kid's yelling, we need ice chips. Like so, like we're in the fucking ER or something. We need ice chips right now, right? And the manager is having like none of. He doesn't give a fuck. This is regular business at Popeyes. You know what I mean? Like he's like, get this woman out of my line. Like I'm in the way. Basically, he's just like, yeah, could we get you to move, right? And this kid, because like I'm obviously pretty flush at this point, I'm not feeling good. The kid is like, okay, man, we got to take your jacket off, like you're sweating, whatever. But because I was so hungover, I had put a white t-shirt on and no bra and then put my jacket on over top. So this kid's trying to take my jacket off and me like a psychopath. I'm like, no, you can't take my jacket off. Because I'm like, my tees are gonna be out. Like, I can't take this jacket off. Okay, this is gonna be a lewd scene pretty quick, right? So then, I sit down, I get half a sip of iced tea in me and I'm fine immediately. It was very clearly like I had like a too hard of a drop in blood sugar, something, you know what I mean? I was going through withdrawal or whatever. Okay, like that's all that happened. As soon as I started drinking some sugar, I felt immediately good. But they called an ambulance. So now I'm sitting in this Popeyes getting examined by two women who are like, you seem fine. And they're talking to me like I called them. I'm like, bitch, I know I'm fine. I'm okay. And I'm like, listen, they're like, okay, like, do you want us to monitor you? What do you want here? And I'm like, I'm totally fine. I was like, I live around the corner. And they're like, okay, we're going to watch you walk home. And then these two EMTs watched me walk home. Okay. I got home and I got to tell you, I was so embarrassed that I didn't go to Popeyes for like 6 months and I dropped 15 pounds. So, all this to say, if you want to learn a lesson, and you want to go on a diet, just pass out in that place.
Yeah,
just
drink so much you...
Do something so incredibly embarrassing that you cannot return.